I got a big, intense episode here for you, and I'm giving you a major warning when it comes to these running backs. 4 running backs you never, ever want to draft again. Avoid these guys. I mean, like, turn away and just run the other direction. You don't want to draft these particular 4 running backs. I'll tell you who they are and why you need to stay away from them. Now, if you want to get all the players to draft, the right players, make sure you guys grab the 60-round draft solution. Use code WIN to save 20% and hit the thumbs up, smash it, tap it, slap it. Which running back are you avoiding for fantasy football 2025? Love to get your feedback. Let's make this ultra interactive. Let me know if you're drafting the guys I'm mentioning today that you need to avoid. Love to get that feedback, okay? I'm ready to dive in. I would say right now, we are in full flow fantasy football season. Honestly, like, it is time to get going. So that's why you got to hit the thumbs up, turn on the bell. I'm going to be doing some mock drafts in the evening, some best ball stuff, keeping it rolling for you. And as we get into training camp, I'm going to start doing a breaking news section at the beginning of the show, even during the season, to keep you guys up to date on stuff. But man, oh man, am I pumped up for the season. I'm ready to dive into these players that you need to avoid. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get this going here. The first player. All right, guys, I cannot tell you about some of these running backs, how much some of these guys are on borrowed time. And I would say that this first guy's on extremely borrowed time. He's lucky he's even in the NFL at this point. And some of you guys are going to disagree, but the guy I'm talking about is James Conner. Okay? Age 30 by the time the season starts. In his career, okay, we're heading into his, 10th, 9th, 10th season, something like that. He's only had 2 1,000-yard runs, and they were the past 2 seasons, okay? And listen to this. He's only finished 1 season fully healthy his entire career. We're talking injury prone. We're talking washed up. We're talking boring and lackluster. Now, listen to this. Last year, finished 11th amongst running backs, but got lucky because Trey Benson was drafted in the 3rd round as a superior running back, just never got the opportunity to start. I don't understand why. Now, to put this in context, okay, he had 236 rushing attempts, did James Conner. All right, this is how bad he sucks. 236 rushing attempts, and he only ended up with 253 fantasy points. Stick with me. This is what I'm talking about. You don't want boring running backs. You don't want running backs that are just not going to perform on a high level. They're not going to be explosive. They're not going to be exciting. They're just going to be the little engine that could, okay? You don't want the little engine that could. You want the explosive, upside, super exciting guy. So again, let me put this in context. 253 fantasy points with 236 attempts. Are you guys with me so far? Jahmyr Gibbs with 250 attempts, which is only 14 more attempts than James Conner, okay? Had 362 fantasy points, PPR. That is a difference of over 109 fantasy points difference. 100 on 14 attempts. That's how bad James Conner is. That in 14 less attempts, he's going to be 100 points less than a superior running back. You got to be getting the Jahmyr Gibbs of the NFL. I know you're saying, well, Joe, there's only so many people that are as good as Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, but you got to be targeting those type of guys. That's why I go robust RB. That's why I go running back early. Now, this year, lucky you, lucky me, we get running backs that are going to be explosive guys like RJ Harvey and other rookies that are coming in that we can get for better value. Mind you, their value is going to be rising very quickly, okay? Now, again, here's what's crazy about all these running backs I'm going to list here. Their ADPs, and this is why rankings don't work. James Conner is sitting as RB19, ahead of pretty much all the rookies except for Genti. Like, if that doesn't put it in perspective that rankings don't work, I would guarantee you that at least 3, 4, maybe even more, right, rookie running backs are going to finish ahead of James Conner. I absolutely guarantee it. Yet the rankings show you this is the same type of conversation last year. Christian Kirk was ranked ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. And it happens every year. This is why rankings don't work. This is why you need to get the 16-round draft so you're able to see the vision. You're able to see and project forward. And you guys are going to have a major advantage. 16 rounds, okay? So James Conner, I'm avoiding him. He's always lackluster, very boring, doesn't finish seasons. Don't do it. You want the upside running backs, okay? Running back number 2, you need to avoid like the plague. Just stay away. Do not draft. Is Alvin Kamara. And I cannot explain to you how much I dislike this player on and off the field. Not a good player. Finished 9th last year in PPR amongst running backs. What I don't like about him is this, okay? First of all, he's old as dirt, He's old. We know that, right? So he's going to be, 30 years old by the time the season starts. Again, he's also sitting as RB17, so very late. He's sitting ahead of guys like Judkins and Harvey and Caleb Johnson, which is ludicrous, right? They drafted a rookie, which I'm not going to get into rookies right now. Just go look at the depth chart, okay? That's all I got to say. All right, so they got a rookie that's going to come in and probably steal a lot of volume from him, Neil. So keep an eye out on that. And then you look at Alvin Kamara. He's had 0 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Well, Joe, read up in PPR. He catches the ball, blah, blah, blah. Where's my voice?
Where's my voice? This is the voice I'm using when you guys talk like, and say something against me. Well, Joe, he's had 1,000 yards rushing. No, he hasn't, but he gets it in receptions.
I hate that voice. I hate when you guys do that. He's a garbage player. He was okay when he was with Ingram like 10 years ago. He is done. He is old. You need to start looking forward, okay? And at the end of the day, man, he's not a dual threat. He's just going to get some receiving yards. He's going to max out at 220 fantasy points. He's never going to be outstanding. You're not going to get a top 5 rusher. When I draft a running back, I'm looking for the guy that's going to be the top 5 potential, or I'm not even drafting him. Okay. And yes, even in later rounds, you get guys that could be top 5. So Alvin Kamara, garbage, 0 1K rushing seasons, garbage player. He had some off-field issues when him and his friends pummeled a guy, and then he got off on it. It's crazy. I don't like this guy at all. Okay, next guy here. Well, Joe, and again, it's the same voice.
Well, Joe, you can't talk about what he does off season. All we care about is fantasy points.
No, I like people with character. I do like character people. That's the bottom line. I do. I like people that are straight up not going to be partying. I saw a video of Devin Otchain flashing money. He had booze all around him. He was at a nightclub, and it's okay to have fun, but I like. And then you look at his social, you look at, I'm not drafting Derrick Henry this year. Again, that's a whole other thing. But you look at Derrick Henry. He's got a baby in his arms. He's focused. Well, Joey, they're different in ages. I don't care. I like the guys. Like a perfect class act with, I remember years ago, was Larry Fitzgerald, right? Good head on his shoulders. Focus. Saquon Barkley looked focused. Mind you, I saw him at a club. I posted a video of him at a club the other day too, but he's a family guy. He's focused. And you can see that on the field. It really translated latter. So you guys get what I'm saying. Alvin Kamara, just not a guy I'm a fan of. Okay, next guy here is Tony Pollard. All right, let's talk about Tony Pollard. Finished 21st last year, only 200 fantasy points. This guy was a so-called RB1. An RB1 should be finishing top 5, top 10. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Finished 21st, and he was a 4th round pick years ago. And at the end of the day, man, I don't like this running back committee. I thought Spears would have easily beat this guy out last year. Pollard, I want to get this point hammered home. Pollard is not good. And I don't care what you say. Well, Joey had a couple good. No, Pollard sucks. Again, I want to hammer the point home. I sound like a broken record. I know. But you want to, and the point of this video is you really want to focus on the grand slam running backs. Guys like Pollard and James Conner and Kamara, they're not going to get you that explosive. Well, they're safe, Joe. No, you don't want safe in fantasy football. You are going for broke. You are going to crush it. That's the mentality. That's the line mentality. Pollard sucks. Crappy player, mediocre, subpar, whatever you want to say. Don't draft Tony Pollard. We saw it last year, finished 21st, and he was a guy that's supposed to be an RB1. RB1s just don't finish 21st. They don't. You know, it is what it is. You want to go for the guys that are going to finish top 10. That's it. Okay? I'm not going to spend too much time on this. And the final guy here is David Montgomery. Now, I should pull up the screenshot of him messaging me back in 2021 saying, you don't need to disrespect me because I was saying he sucks. I'm still going to say he sucks. All right. Here's the thing. He finished 18th last year, played 14 games. He's 28 years old. All right. He's 28 years old. He had 185 attempts. And, he was a 3rd round pick in 2019. Years to wow us. We're not wowed. Listen, when you are drafting a running back, always aim to get the RB1. And you are now paying this guy's, he's RB18. So you're going to basically grab Montgomery before you grab a Caleb Johnson or some of these top rookies that are slated to be in an RB1 position. No, never do that. You're basically getting the second fiddle to Jahmyr Gibbs. Just don't do it. And well, Joe, he's efficient. He's still going to get me. No, just don't do it. Don't grab RB2s when you could be grabbing potential RB1s. All right? Just don't do it. And again, nobody's teaching this stuff. They'll say just draft based on ADP rankings. David Montgomery's next on ADP. I got to get him. When you're going through that draft and you see Montgomery ahead of Caleb Johnson, do not grab David Montgomery. You have so many other rookie running backs that could come in and be the one. Why would you waste your time grabbing the second fiddle to Jahmyr Gibbs, a guy who didn't finish a season last year, the guy that looks lackluster on every run? Well, when he runs up the middle, he's a guy that pounds the ball. No, you need a full, true workhorse RB1 alpha on the team. Period. Don't settle for less. And that's all I got to say. So these guys, mediocre, average. I'm not drafting them. Avoid them. Do not draft these players, these running backs for fantasy football 2025, period. If you want to know who to draft, if you want to smash your leagues, let your league mates draft these guys. Don't let them, don't draft them, right? Grab the 16-round draft session. You'll be light years ahead of the sheep. Use code WIN to save. Join the Patreon group. I've linked it below. Follow on socials. I'm going to keep the content rolling here for you guys. And dude, I'm excited. Fantasy football is around the corner. Let's smash it. Do not draft these guys.